Travel info.
Bali is known as the island of the gods for a reason. It's one of 17,500 islands in the Indonesian archipelago, yet even among its colorful neighbors, and even after decades of tourism development, it stands alone in its incomparable beauty. It is part of the Coral Triangle, which has the highest diversity of marine species on Earth, making the coral reefs that surround the island a spectacular sight. Despite the island's small size, its population holds most of Indonesia's Hindu minority. Bali is known for surfing, ancient temples, and palaces, but also has active volcanoes and wild jungles. It has white sand beaches in the south, and striking black sand in the north and west. Bali has been a popular tourist destination for travelers from all over the world, but especially Australians and Americans, for the past few decades. As a result, the island is well accustomed to meeting the needs of international tourists.
Know before you go, one of the most picturesque things to do in Bali is the sunrise trek to the summit of Mount Batur. If you're intrepid, fit, and don't mind getting up in the middle of the night to go, you'll be rewarded with some of the island's most spectacular views. Best time to go. The rainy season lasts from October until March, with monsoon-leveled downpours, and is not the best time for tourism. The high season, which is Easter week and Chinese New Year, generally has higher hotel rates. The best time to find deals for Bali travel is between September and December, and the best time to visit is during the dry season, April through October. Language: Balinese, Indonesian, English. Currency: Indonesian rupiah. Weather: Bali is situated near the equator and benefits from a tropical climate, with an average year-round temperature of 86 degrees Fahrenheit, 30 degrees Celsius. Phone code: Indonesia phone code, 62 Bali area code, 36 Indonesia dial code, plus 6236. Time zone: UTC plus 8 hours. Transportation: public transportation in Bali is hard to come by, but it is possible to travel by taxi or to rent a motorbike. Electric: 230V Type C and F, 2-prong, plug.
1. Bani Umala Waterfall. Bani Umala Waterfall is a breathtaking waterfall hidden in the depths of North Bali. To access it, you'll have to drive right up onto the ridge overlooking Danau Bayan, and then drop down again towards the northern coast. The road down is terrible, but definitely doable if your driver is up for it. Once you get to the parking area, there's a short 10-15 minute walk down some very steep pathways and steps that'll lead you all the way to the falls. It's very steep, so expect to be sweaty when you get back. Entrance fee, in cash, is approx $5 or $6 per person. Once you're at the bottom, there's a cool plunge pool to cool off in. Definitely our favorite waterfall in Bali. 2. Alundanu Water Temple. This is the temple that blew up on Instagram recently, and it's completely understandable. The temple sits as an island in Danau Biradan Lake. Boats can be rented from the side of the lake, and there's a large temple on dry land to explore as well, mixed in with fairly random sculptures, like SpongeBob. We turned up at sunrise and were met with a few hurdles, especially if you're a photographer. 1. It doesn't open until they decide to open, so there's no point getting there at 5 AM to set up. I think it opened around 6 AM when we went. That includes the toilets. Not fun when half your crew has the aforementioned Bali belly. 2. Renting a boat is tough if you want to get it at sunrise. Again, the rental guys get up when they feel like it. I get the sense that a lot of the photos you see of sunrise with a boat have come from boats rented with a 5-finger discount. The other funny thing is that this thing isn't in the middle of the lake, as social media might suggest, but about 20 feet from the shore. 3. Mount Batur. This is one of Bali's other active volcanoes, but don't worry, this one hasn't erupted since 2000. One of the most popular things to do in the Kintamani region in North Bali is hike to the summit for sunrise. Grab a local guide and head up around 3 AM. If you take a tour group, you'll be rewarded with their famous volcanic steamed eggs for breakfast, and hopefully, weather permitting, an incredible sunrise. A not so well hidden gem in North Bali. 4. Toyabunga Hot Spring. Okay, this one isn't what we usually go for because it is 100% a tourist trap. If you're going expecting to be at one with nature, believe us, it ain't gonna happen here. Having said that, if you're just a big fan of hot springs like us, it's worth a quick visit. Sat right in the shadow of the Mount Batur volcano, I think we can say with absolute certainty that these hot springs are naturally heated and one of the most beautiful places in North Bali to take a dip. There are 7 pools allegedly, but the one you're going to want to spend all your time in is the one with the views of the actual lake. Locals pay less for entry, but there's also a kind of segregation where they're not allowed in the more expensive pools. The tourist pools seems a little unnecessary to me, but it seems like it's the easiest way for them to charge tourists what they want but still keep it affordable for locals. I think it was approx 200k per person to enter. 5. Gitgit Waterfall. Another stunning waterfall in Bali. 40 meters of waterfall heaven. Very accessible and not too much of a walk from the parking lot. Worth a visit, right? 6. Banjar Hot Springs. These springs were built after the Japanese occupation in Wai. They're much less commercial than Toyabunga and still retain that peaceful elegance that makes it feel more like a spa than a swimming pool. Outside the pools you'll find markets and stalls where you might find yourself boom-rushed by a swarm of aggressive hawkers. 7. Buzungbiu Rice Terraces. Less well known than Tagalalang and Chitiluih, but no less stunning. Worth stopping by if you're traveling through the north. 8. Bayan and Tamblingan Lake. These are the less well-known siblings of Danau Biradan Lake and they offer similar views of temples set amidst lakes. They also have the benefit of being far less well-known, so you're not jostling with other tourists trying to get their photos. It's easy to hire boats here for a paddle, just ask a local. 9. Yemamp Waterfall. Still fairly unknown amongst tourists. This waterfall actually has 3 levels. One that's easy to get to, the others requiring a little more of a hike. Probably not the first one you want to check off, but if you're making a day of it, then it would definitely be worth a visit. 10. Munjuk Waterfall. Just 300 meters from the parking lot, Munjuk should definitely be on your list and is one of North Bali's best hidden gems. 11. The Handara Golf Course. This is more of a pit stop, but one of the most photographed spots in North Bali are these famous gates. You'd be forgiven for thinking they're part of a grandiose palace or temple, but in fact they're just the entrance gates to a golf course. The Handara Golf Course in northern Bali has now become one of North Bali's most famous and not so hidden gems. If you visit, don't be surprised to find dozens of photographers politely waiting their turn for their shots. Oh, and don't be surprised if there's security blocking the gate some days. I'm told it often happens if the president is visiting. 12. Bikor Inun. Steeped in mystery, this extraordinary 11th century monument, just northeast of Ubud, is a true don't miss. The parking lot is crammed with hawkers, but don't despair. A set of stone steps leads you down into an idyllic valley of sunlit waterfalls and palm-studded rice terraces. Here, the rushing Pakarisen River divides the towering Gunung Koi temple complex, where rows of ancient royal tombs, called candis, are cut into stone lining the riverbanks. Some claim that each candi is a memorial to a member of ancient Balinese royalty, along with a few of their concubines. Others believe that the whole mass of tombs was carved out of the rock face in one hard-working moonlit night by the mighty fingernails of Kabul Iwak, a Balinese giant possessing supernatural powers. 13. Green School Tour. The Green School is carved out of the jungle, so wear appropriate walking shoes to scale the grounds. On the tour, you'll learn about the sustainable green practices employed by the school community and the innovative teaching methods used to help the future generation follow a green and sustainable lifestyle. Public tours of the 23-acre campus are held every morning and cost $15 per person. Register online in advance for a place on the tour and bring ID. 14. Goa Gadja. Set deep in the Patanu River Valley, Goa Gadja, better known as the Elephant Cave, houses an ancient, circa 11th century, Buddhist and Hindu temple that's one of Bali's most bewitching tourist attractions. The site is reached by walking down a long set of stone steps, past rectangular pools where worshippers once did ritual ablutions. Ornate stone carvings of lotus flowers and mystical creatures surround the entrance to the cave. Most dramatic is the fierce-looking beast whose open mouth serves as the entryway. Inside are statues of Buddhist deities, including the elephant-headed god Ganesha and the goddess Harati, as well as various fertility symbols. Tip: make this an early morning or late afternoon venture if you want to beat the crowds. 15. Poraloharuluwatu. Head to the southernmost point of the island's Bukit Peninsula for the views from one of Bali's most sacred temples, Poraloharuluwatu, which commands a cliff above the surf. 16. Tanah Temple. Tanah Lot, Bali's most dramatically situated temple, poised on a rocky headland that becomes an island at high tide. 1. Pisang goreng. Let's start with dessert, because nothing is sweeter than my all-time favorite, fried bananas. Bali has such a variety of bananas, from the small, sweet varieties to the large ones that look like a weapon. The different types make fried bananas a treat each time. Served with honey or palm sugar syrup, a little bit of flaked coconut or vanilla ice cream, or just plain from the roadside stalls, nothing is better than pisang goreng. 2. Mie goreng. A classic Indonesian staple of fried noodles, is often served with vegetables and a choice of chicken, shrimp or pork. Sometimes it's served with a fried egg on top, chicken satay sticks, prawn crackers and peanut sauce. Oh, and don't forget the pickled vegetables, Josh's favorite. 3. Nasi goreng. Similar to mie goreng, but fried rice instead of noodles. This is the most popular staple of the Balinese. They literally eat it for breakfast, lunch and dinner. Rice is grown all over Bali, so there's no shortage of this grain all year round. I don't think I've ever had a bad nasi goreng in Bali. Every chef knows how to do it justice. From the 5-star resorts, the roadside stalls. So simple yet so delicious. 4. Satay. Unlike its Malaysian counterpart, Indonesian satay is not satay. Mushed chicken is blended with an array of spices, melded onto a stick, usually lemongrass, and barbecued. Unless written on the menu, it probably won't include peanut sauce. While we prefer the chicken satay ayam, Indonesia specializes in fish satay, lilit ikan. 5. Babi guling. Bali's most famed dish, the suckling pig. Pork is rubbed with turmeric, stuffed with a spice paste, usually coriander seeds, lemongrass, lime leaves, salam leaves, chilies, black pepper, garlic, red shallots, ginger and lesser galangal, and then roasted on a spit over coconut husks or wood until super tender. Beware when ordering this, it's nose to tail dining, so you might receive an obscure piece of pork on your plate. Enjoy. 6. Nasi campur. A local favorite, nasi campur means mixed rice and usually consists of small portions of vegetables, fish or meat with a mound of steamed rice. There's no one right combination of flavors, so it's rarely the same. That is what makes it so fun. You never know exactly what you're going to get. Think of it as an Indonesian antipasto. 7. Bebek bitatu. Smoked duck is probably one of the more unique dishes in Bali. The duck is rubbed and stuffed with a mix of spices, wrapped in an areca palm leaf or betel nut bark, and smoked with the embers of rice husks. Most restaurants require 1 day's notice since cooking takes around 12 hours. 8. Mini rijsttafel. A mini rijsttafel is a meal to be shared. Rijsttafel is a Dutch word that literally means rice table, a name that has stuck since colonial times. Depending where you order, it usually comes out all at the same time and contains a mixed selection of Balinese and Indonesian delicacies like bebek bitatu, smoked duck, chicken with sambal, prawns, pork and chicken satay, sayur wrap, mixed Bali vegetables, potato croquettes, tempeh, tofu and yellow nasi tumpeng, rice cone. 9. Spring rolls. Who doesn't love crispy spring rolls, filled with mixed vegetables and minced chicken, served with a peanut sauce or a sweet chili sauce? A winner every time. 10. Gado gado. Mix is one of Indonesia's best known dishes. Essentially it is a vegetable salad bathed in a classic peanut sauce. While it's a cold salad, I think it would taste awesome warm too. At its base are boiled long beans, spinach, potato, corn, egg and bean sprouts coupled with cucumber, tofu and tempeh.
Travel info.